on, everybody? What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I want to say what's up to all the intelligent Black people that are in the building. I also have to apologize right now in advance because I sound like the Cookie Monster half the time because I have a little bit of something in my chest. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to fight through this, and I hope that that's okay. And give me a yes in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. Also, shout out the city that you're from. James Keller, Alvin Colquitt, let's see, Lewis Hayes, and Richard Knox. I see you out of Houston. All right, so what I want to talk about right now is I want to kind of dig a little deeper into a discussion I had a little bit earlier on the Black Financial Channel, and it has to do with wealth inequality that has gone up in the last few years. Basically, billionaires have really been sucking up all the money. It's really getting kind of crazy, and I'm gonna tell you what, there is a lot to unpack in terms of what's going on with wealth inequality in America, and I'm going to sort of break this down a little bit further by reading an article I just found. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on drboycetv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I hope everybody's having a good day. And basically, I want to come in here as you hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I wanted to read this article to you that I just found in terms of what's going on in America when it comes to wealth. And this is not even just racially driven, but I think it's important for Black people to be aware and to understand what's happening so that you are clear on where America stands economically, where the problems are. But also remember, we're not just problem oriented, we're solution oriented. I mean, some people, they get so comfortable talking about the problem that they don't take any time to talk about the solution. They have no interest in the solution. And, and I can tell you that this is not the way to get ahead financially. The reality is that as I discussed earlier, I was explaining how the median white family's wealth has gone up by about $40,000 in the last 30 years. The median Black family's wealth has gone up by about $14,000. In 1989, the median Black family had a wealth of $9,000. The median white family had a level of $143,000. In 2016, the median white family had a wealth level of about $184,000. The median Black family was down to about $13,000. So a lot of this is always there. It's never going to go away. I've given up on the idea of trying to solve the whole racial wealth gap for everybody. Why is that? Well, because not everybody's going to listen to me. Unfortunately, we got a lot of brainwashed folks out here that don't really want the solution to the problem. They really enjoy the chair of victimhood, and I'm not really here to make anybody into a victim. I'm really here to talk about what you can do to make things better. But let me talk about America and the billionaires. Man, this is really interesting data. Basically, billionaires have really been sucking up all the benefits that came from the pandemic. A lot of y'all knew that the fix was in. A lot of y'all saw what was going on in the pandemic. I talked about how Big Pharma was just getting crazy paid off of these government mandates and everything else. And you pretty much have people that are positioned, they're traditionally positioned to benefit whenever there's a crisis. You probably heard politicians like Rahm Emanuel say that you never let a good crisis go to waste. And so what's happened is that since the pandemic, billionaires and wealthy people have done extremely well. I'm going to read a little bit of this to you from I don't know this website. Let me see. It's an article in a publication called News, K with a K, KNEWZ. And they cite everything. They cite Forbes and stuff like that. So let me read some of this to you. They said, basically, according to inequality.org, since the beginning of the pandemic, the Institute for Policy Studies has tracked the growth of U.S. billionaire wealth. Now, listen to this, y'all. This is going to freak you out. They said, noted that since 2020, billionaire wealth is up 88%. 88%. 88%. That's insane. 88%. Their wealth has pretty much doubled since the pandemic. They said Forbes reported that in March 2020, around the same time the pandemic began. I'm not going to say the C word because, they like to censor us when we're telling the truth about this stuff. Its 34th annual billionaire survey revealed that as of March 18, 2020, there were 614 billionaires in the country with a combined wealth of 2.947 trillion. So write that down in your head. 2.9 trillion. Okay, so somebody type 2.9 in the chat. I want y'all to follow this. 4 years later, to the day, the country has no longer has 614 billionaires. There are now 737 billionaires. So a lot of multimillionaires made billionaire status after the pandemic, and their combined wealth is no longer 2.9 trillion. It's now 5.5 trillion. 5.5 trillion. So that's an 87.6% increase, according to the Institute for Policy Studies calculations of Forbes real-time billionaire data. Inequality.org highlighted a few of the top 1% who've made substantial gains in that 4-year period, including Elon Musk, who had a wealth valued of $25 billion in 2020. Now he's worth $188 billion. Jeff Bezos' wealth in 2020 was $113 billion. Now it's $192.8 billion. Walmart heirs, Sam Walton's kids, Jim, Alice, and Rob Walton, their wealth rose $161 billion in 2020 to $229.6 billion in 2024. According to Business Insider, the top 10% of Americans own 87% of all the stocks and mutual funds, and the top 1% own half of all individually held stocks. The top 1% of Americans own half of the stock. So really what you have in America is you have a country that is going deeper and deeper down the hole of inequality. This is what's going to destroy America. You got your rich people that just are eating good. They don't really care a whole lot about anybody else. Your government is now owned and controlled by these people. The drug dealers are running the police station, so to speak. The criminals are running the courthouse. The billionaires are controlling your favorite politician. So if you think you can vote your way out of wealth, you're delusional. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. I know that people get offended when I say this, but you're delusional if you think you can vote your way out of wealth. Politicians will never serve you the way they serve the wealthy. And then also, if you think you can work your way out of wealth, you're delusional, because the goal of capitalism is to make these billionaires wealthier by getting you to work yourself into an early grave. You bust your butt. You live on a treadmill. You're constantly working. You're going to work every day, and you're not getting ahead. You literally are a person, unfortunately, who may die with a net worth that is lower than a newborn baby. That means you've been hustling backward the entire time, but you've been putting out the energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, which means all your energy is going toward the wealth of somebody else, not to you and your family. That's America. So if you think you can vote your way out of wealth, you're delusional. If you think you can work your way out of wealth, you're delusional. If you think you can save your way to wealth, you're delusional. You cannot save your way to wealth. That's not possible. Why? Well, because there's this thing called inflation. Inflation is something that is never going to go away. The Federal Reserve, which I follow very closely, they don't mind inflation that much. In fact, inflation is an indicator of a strong economy. So effectively, this is something that's not going to go away. This is something that's going to continue. This is something that you should probably prepare your children for, because if you don't, then unfortunately you may get stuck in the basement of society. So anyway, before I move on, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I'm trying to build this independent Black-owned platform. It's really, really hard. If y'all can help me, I'd really appreciate it. So if you could go to Spotify or Apple and look up my name, Boyce Watkins, you can find me there. There are over 1 million of you on different YouTube channels, and I appreciate all of you that subscribed. We have to kick out a lot of idiots, so we don't really want everybody here. We only want people here that really want what's best for the community. And then also, don't forget that winter is coming economically. I've mentioned to you all, people ask me all the time, they say, is the stock market going to crash? And I say, well, of course it is. Of course it's going to crash. I looked at the data. All I did was study stock market data during my time on the faculty of Syracuse. The market crashes all the time. The question is, are you ready? The question is, can you benefit? The question is, do you know what to do? So what I'm going to do is tomorrow night, which is April 1st, if you're listening to this live, you can join us live. If not, you can get the recording if you like. I'm going to do an event called Stormproof Investing. Basically how to prepare for winter by stormproofing your portfolio and making sure that you position yourself so that not only do you survive the storm, you actually thrive during the storm. What a lot of people don't know is that a ton of wealth gets made when times appear to be tough, when the market appears to be down. That's actually when billionaires get the most of their money. For example, in this conversation that I'm having with you right now, well, what is the theme? The theme is that wealthy people became wealthier, billionaires became billionaire, they became richer. When? What? In the middle of the crisis, in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of what was seen as a horrible economic tragedy. The billionaires were not playing survivalnomics. They were playing powernomics. And so what I want you to really get in the habit of doing is having a powernomics mindset and a powernomics philosophy, because there are opportunities out there for everybody. Sure, it's hard to become an Elon Musk. Let's just be honest about that. It's very difficult to get to the point where you are making as much money as Elon, but it's not hard to buy the stocks that Elon might buy. It's not hard to get involved in the stock market. The stock market is democratized. So anyway, what I'm going to do for you guys, if you'd like to join us, is I'm putting a link in here where you can join us for the Stormproof investing event. It's April 1st at 8 p.m. You get a 25% off discount on that link. All the regular price is already low. It's only $89, and the materials are yours for life. There aren't that many lifetime access classes that you get for $89, but this is one that's important. So we decided to go ahead and lower the price as much as we could, so we could raise money for the Black Business School and still help you and your family in a way that's better than anything you ever got in college, but a fraction of the price. So feel free to take a look at that. Also, if you text the word money to 87948, text money to 87948, I'll send you that along with a training on how to make money without working and a list of stocks that I put together. I curated a list of stocks under $10 that you guys can take a look at. So let's get back to the lecture at hand. Let's finish up our conversation that we were having before. So as I was mentioning earlier, rich people are pretty much gobbling up everything. This has been something that's always been true in America. What's really interesting to me is that you could really have predicted this by the way Musk and others responded to the pandemic. How many of you noticed? Give me a yes if you noticed that during the pandemic, when it first started, they told all the local businesses that they had to shut down. Anybody remember that? All the local businesses had to shut down, right? And so a lot of business owners went out of business during the pandemic because the government basically said, all of you have to shut down, right? Well, I know. Did you notice that there were some businesses that didn't shut down? Did anybody else notice that? Did anybody notice that there were some companies that didn't actually have to shut down during the pandemic? And some of those businesses were seen as essential services, and they were seen as companies that really, needed to be in business because they were going to help us get through the pandemic and all this other stuff. And so some of these companies were allowed to continue to do business while everyone else was shut down. And a lot of these companies were places like Amazon, which is why Jeff Bezos made so much money. Home Depot, that's another company. I'm going to show you Home Depot stock, actually, because you could have bought shares in this company years ago. I think I've been an owner in Home Depot for a while. I don't know how many shares I own. I know that I did buy a few shares of the stock of the company. And let me show you all this. Look at Home Depot stock. Let me see if I can. Come on, boys, find the right tab. Here we go. All right. So look at this. Look at Home Depot stock. Now, if you look at this chart, you can see this is where the pandemic began. You look at the stock price, it was at 150, about 150-ish, 152 or something like that. That's what it hit at its lowest point. It says 179, but I'm trying to get right there in that little cranny. And I believe that cranny, there we go, 152.15. So you look at the price now, it's 383. So look at that. And I want you to think about this, right? Home Depot stock in the last 5 years has gone up 90%. So a person who simply saw what was going on. Now, you remember, you could go back to this point in time, and I was talking to you guys every single day on this day, on March 20th, 2020. You could probably go find videos I was doing that day because I talk to you all every day about your economics. I'm very consistent with this. So on this day, one of the things I was telling you was what? I was telling you, you got to look at the companies that are benefiting from this. Somebody's going to get rich off of this. There are people out there that don't waste a good crisis. The government's going to be dumping money onto the economy. Home Depot was one of the beneficiaries. So at that time, it would be very easy. It would have been very easy to go buy shares in Home Depot for, say, that 152 mark. And then you sit there, and instead of complaining about the fact that they're making so much money, you're making money with them. This is called incentive alignment. This is called correlation also. Correlation or incentive alignment means that your wealth is correlated with the wealthiest people in America. It means that your wealth goes up when their wealth goes up. You make money when they make money. And that's what I tell you how to deal with in terms of the billionaires and all that. I can't stop Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos from making another $100 billion. They're going to always make money. The robber barons in America have always made money pretty much by getting regular people like you and I into debt, into student loan debt, getting them to go work on the corporate plantation and getting you to rent things instead of buy things. They've always done that. They're going to continue to do that because why? Well, their economic consciousness is very, very high. The big guy can see the court a little bit better than the little guy. So if you always see yourself as the little guy, then you won't have the vision of the big guys. Do you understand? So maybe I'm kind of a big guy because I understand where the big guys come from. I trained big guys. When I was on the faculty at Syracuse, I educated many, many wealthy kids from Jewish, Asian, and Arab families who went to Wall Street and made millions of dollars. So I know how the big guys think. And what I'm telling you is that you have to elevate your economic understanding and embrace economic maturity at a higher level to be able to make sure that when they're making money, you're making money. It's really that simple. If you are in a car and it's the slow car and the fast cars are zipping by you, you can sit by and get mad because the fast cars are going faster than your car, or you can get your ass out that little raggedy ass piece of crap car and get in a faster car, get in a better investment vehicle and better financial vehicle. That way you'll move down the road faster. So here's what my simple premise has always been, that stock market participation is literally the most important thing you could do for your family. Here's the other thing about this wealth gap issue. It ain't going away, folks. It ain't going backward. It's not going to slow down. There's no legislation anywhere from Trump, Biden, or anybody in between that says we're going to make sure billionaires pay their fair share or don't make as much money. They're going to keep on making money because they keep on adapting. The question is that I have for you is, are you adapting or are you remaining still? If you're remaining still, I don't know what to tell you. Now, if you want to adapt, I'd love to help you. I'd love to support you in that journey. So feel free to hang out with me. As you guys know, every single morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, we do financial consciousness training. We do this every single day, 7 days a week. If you want to join us for tomorrow's financial consciousness training, just text the word morning to 87948. You can join every live session for free, but the recordings and the archives, there's literally probably about 70 lectures now I've done on different financial topics. They're all housed at drboycedaily.com. So if you want to, you can go to drboycedaily.com and you can get lifetime access to all that extra material as well, or you can just join the free sessions in the morning by texting the word morning to 87948. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. God bless you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It was real. I had a lot of fun. And just a quick reminder, and I hope you can forgive me for reminding you of things. We have to let you guys know what's going on so you'll know that we're working hard on your behalf, and also so you'll know what we have going on so you can participate. So in LA on April 19th, I'm doing a stock options summit. And our events, it's going to be a premier event for anybody interested in learning stock options. We encourage you to learn as a family, as a group, and lots of people come to our events. And these are lots of intelligent Black people around the world who want to do what's best for their families. So if that's you, if you're in that category, then I hope you'll join us in LA on April 19th. Feel free to go to stockoptionssummit.com. And of course, last but not least, I have a new book out. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. It is an Amazon bestseller. It's not Powernomics. It's a great book, but it's not Powernomics. Dr. Claude Anderson did that. I ain't trying to replace that man at all. He is the GOAT 100%. There's no question about that. But I did do my little part by writing this book. And what I did was put 10 simple rules that if any family follows these rules, you'll have more wealth than not just white people. You'll have more wealth than anybody who doesn't follow these rules. So anyway, feel free to go to drboycebooks.com and take a look. We also have financial flashcards and workbooks for children. We educate the whole family because that's the key to wealth. Build that wealth together. And then not only will that expand your wealth, it'll also expand your ability to love each other, because there's nothing that you can do for another person 9 times out of 10 that's more valuable than helping them make money. So I love you, but I also want to see you do well financially. And that's why I do this on a regular basis. So God bless you guys. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll check in with you guys tomorrow morning. I'm a little bit under the weather, so forgive me for a little bit of my hacking. Hopefully I'll be better by tomorrow. But then again, even if I'm not, I'm still going to be there. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.